Hello and welcome to BonBonB Plays Transport Fever. I'm BonBonB and of course you are very welcome. Now this is part 7, or technically part 3 after my restart a couple of episodes ago. So we haven't got very far, but we are rebuilding without making the error of relying too much on the horse and cart. We are currently at 1865, which for those that have played the game will know 15 years into the start of the game means that some of my horses are going to need retiring and replacing, so that's a job for today. Won't take very long to do, so we'll look at that. But let's quickly review where we're up to. Playing on the large map with the seed BonBonB. All the B's are capitals, so feel free to play the same map if you wish. And now the 6 towns we have here will be joining into a loop over a matter of episodes. We can't do it all at once. Plus, we wouldn't want to because the hills, especially here between Billericay and Early and Saxmundham up to Billericay, is a bit of a problem for the engines that we've got available at the moment. So we've got at the moment, we have up to the BonBonB is connected to Early and Chipping Sodbury is connected to Saxmundham. Now those two, well, if you can actually compare the sizes of the towns. If you look at Padstow, we have a population of 187 and Billericay 153, randomly picking Newcastle under Lyme 255, so it's on the larger side there, but started off a little larger. And the 4 towns that we've connected, 338 in Chipping Sodbury, we've got 393 in Saxmundham, nope, not Billericay, Early 369, and up to the BonBonB is at 368. So you can see that by connecting up these towns with passenger routes, it is making a difference to the population, which is all good. Now let's have a closer look at. We'll have a look at Early and Upton second. We'll look at the first route that we had, which was Saxmundham and Chipping Sodbury, and we'll start the motion because it looks prettier. And this is Agatha. Now Agatha is my oldest train, and she's running, as you can see, on capacity 72 out of 72 passengers on board. Pulled out of the station, and there's already 18 on the station at Chipping, and at Saxmundham at the other end we've got 62 people waiting. So that train is running capacity. I could spend more on it, but I think she's only got about another 15 years left available before she needs replacing. At that point, I think that's when we'll do the big upgrade and push for greater capacity. Now on this line, this is Basil's line. There's Basil struggling up the hill. It looks very flat here, but this is a little bit of a hill. He'll get up a bit of speed in a minute. He's got 47 out of 78 passengers on board at the moment. Coming down to Upton, and Upton has 41 at the moment. And at the other end, Early, we have on the station, on the platform, we have 26 waiting. So this line is slowly growing. What I have done is I have spent a little bit of money off camera on Basil. You may make out that the first few carriages are the older carriages, and this is the first upgrade carriage available. So yeah, we needed to get a little bit more capacity down here, and that will help this line grow. And I reckon in the next couple of years this line will be running at a similar capacity to the Saxmundham line. Now, before we go and do any extra work today, I just wanted to look at some of the detail of Transport Fever. And this is the area I was going to look at down here. Now, the assets are very cleverly used in this game. So if we look here, we've got 4 factory units all alongside each other. And it's quite clear that this one and this one are identical, and this one are identical. If we come down to Street View though, it doesn't like with city skylines, it's not like one great big line of identical buildings, because the way that the assets that are used to highlight them, to accent the so here we have what's this? We've got some steel and a box out the front of this one, but down here we've got one of these giant reels and a wheelbarrow and some kind of crate at the front there. Whereas with this one next door, you can see that these 5 containers also exist outside of this one. But we've got an extra barrel just sat out there. It's not, and honestly, that makes all the difference. Plus, with the trees breaking things up, that means that that doesn't just look like 4 buildings just copying each other. But an even greater example of this is on this side of the road, where we have, if you look down here, quite clearly, 5 identical small factory units. But we've got 5 completely different accenting features outside the front. So when we come down to the street level and we make our way along, it doesn't just look like 5 buildings. Just that would just appear to be copy and paste in city skylines, and that's ignoring the quality of the assets and the buildings themselves. They are just beautiful. Well, for factory units, that is. So anyway, that's pretty much all I had to say about that. I just wanted a quick zoom in at the detailing. Now, I've got 2.5 million in the bank, and we will spend some of that money on upgrading the horses. I think we probably should look at doing that now. Stick it into pause for the moment. There's the warnings coming up. We know. We're fully aware of that. Let's go and have a look at the... so we've got the Saxmundham and Chipping buses already. So we'll come to this guy, and he's got 4 on board. So we don't want to... anybody who's carrying passengers, we want to let them finish their routes, because these are people that are actually taking people to the trains, and the trains is where we're making our money. So what I'll do is I'll move those up to there. These are going to need replacing soon as well. So what I'll do is I will may as well open all of them up. Fantastic. That's all my buses. How lovely. When I say buses, they're stagecoaches, not buses at all, quite clearly. Right. And so we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4 for Saxmundham. No. Oh yeah, there's 2 more down there. So 1, 2. Where's my line? Here. We're going to need 4 for each. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a little bit of time lapse. Let these guys each individually drop off their passengers, and then we will call them into the depot and send out new stagecoaches. Okay, so let's buy these new vehicles, shall we? So we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those at Saxmundham, going on to the Saxmundham bus. Done. And then this one can go, and we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 going on to the Chipping Sodbury bus. And that has now resolved our little horses problem for the moment. Won't be long before we've got to do it again, but that gets us fixed. Okay. And now we're going to connect up the next 2 towns. It won't be on this little loop though, as we have issues with hills and distance as well as a problem as well. One of my next connections will be Chipping Sodbury to Padstow, but we've got to go round the hill, which isn't a quick backwards and forwards. That's a hill going on, this is a hill going on, and there's a hill going on here too, plus quite a climb. So we're going to come over to Dunstable to Godmanchester. Now, as promised in the last episode, Godmanchester is the feature of our factoid of the day, and of course Godmanchester is pronounced Gumpster. Gumpster is down in Cambridgeshire, I believe. Flatlands over there, and a beautiful part of the country if you've never been. Now, Gumpster, the actual town, not the transport fever town, is probably most interesting feature is its Chinese bridge. Now, the Chinese bridge obviously is not really a Chinese bridge. It's probably in a Chinese style, wooden, and the story has it it was actually made without nails, which of course is false because they probably just corroded away over time. And when one of the local carpenters said, I'll have a look at it, I'll find out how they did this, and he took it apart, or a small part of it apart, he couldn't get it back together, and it wouldn't then hold its own weight. So that's typical of any guy who thinks he knows well and starts taking things apart. There's always a piece left over, isn't there? Well, this actually happened in Gumpster with their Chinese bridge. But anyway, they finally fixed it with the use of nails. And but very recently, 2010 I think it was, they replaced the entire bridge, lifted the old one out with a crane, and put a replica in. So if you go to Gumpster now, there's a brand new Chinese bridge. Beautiful little thing, beautiful little bridge. I don't know if it's worth travelling all the way to Gumpster to see it, but if you're in Gumpster, that's definitely something to go and have a look at. And then we've got Dunstable, and Dunstable is Dunstable. We'll do a special factoid on Dunstable some other point, but I can't think of anything to say about Dunstable right now, so we'll just ignore it. If you live in Dunstable, my apologies, but wherever you live, you kind of like you're proud of your town, but you also hate it as well, don't you? Right, so we've got 3 million in the bank. Ooh, we can go crazy. Nah, we'll just put down a standard residential line, shall we? Ow, look at this. We've got residential at this end of town. That's handy. Now, when we build this line in, we're going to want at some point to be able to have this coming up to Port Leven and up to Eccles. So maybe if I build it so the line can come around and up this way. What's the... pretty sure there's quite a steep gradient. In fact, I know there's a steep gradient here. Let's come to here. So yeah, ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's going to hurt, isn't it? I'm suspecting that running a train from Dunstable to Port Leven is not going to be the cleverest of routes. I think we're going to have to go from Gumpster up through the valley here towards Port Leven and then up to Eccles that way. So that being the case, this will be a standalone line. Or you could probably skip across the river here, I guess, and join up to Tetbury. So right, so we're going to run the line across here and then down the side of the river. And let's have a quick look at Gumpster. Where's the best place? Oh, once again, we can quite happily stick the station here. So basically, yeah, just following the line of the road. It's quite simple and straightforward. We can go with that. So, oh, right, one platform, I think. We are passenger, that's correct. I think somewhere around about there is perfect. And we will need bus routes, of course. But first of all, let's continue the line in a way that we're not going to get obstructed by buildings in the near future. And a little bit further to about there. Right. Okay, and I'll just draw the line out a little bit to there. Right, now we've got that in place. We're going to want the bus station. I think we could have that right alongside. I think it looks good right alongside, do you? We've got some of these assets that we could pop in, like trees. We could pop those along the back. Huh? What sort of bloody bush is that, huh? So yes, it's I've not done any decorations in this game before. It's look, that looks quite good. I likes. But anyway, no, that's not what we came here to do. We came here to put down a bus station, a bus depot, padump. Right, let's come out of here, pull back a bit. So we're going to need some kind of bus station, bus stop. No, bus stop, that's the one. Down here. Oh, that might not be so clever. If we joined that road up there, let's find, where did I put that bus stop? There it is. Sorry, council error. Ha! Road, that's what we want. Let's join up this street to create a loop. Now we'll put down the bus stop, but we'll pop it there. Then we'll have another one up here. And then one down here on the way back. Got a feeling we're going to need to extend the route at some point around the top there as Dunstable expands. And then we'll create a new line. And this is the Godmanchester bus. Okay. And we'll start off at the bus station. We'll come to here. We'll go to there and stop off there on the way back. Park Avenue, King Street and Manor Road. I love the way that all these streets actually have their own names. This is pretty cool. Right, something else that you don't get in the city skylines, of course. Right, so that's the bus route for that one. We could set them on their way, I guess, just to get things rolling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you will go onto the Dunstable bus route. Right, they're off. They're moving. Let's go and set up the railway station over here. And let's pick a street and we'll just join those two up like that. And that's going to probably... No, we can work around that. Let's pop the railway station in here and extend the railway across the bottom of that road so that... Oh, didn't like that. And up a little bit further. Right, and then we'll draw this line out a little bit this way. Right, so now that's pointing off in the right direction. We'll do the same with Dunstable. We'll give them a little bus station. It won't fit in there, will it? Of course it won't. Will it? There's no way we're going to squeeze that in. Right, fine. If we're not going to squeeze it in, don't try and squeeze it in. Somewhere about there. We've got just about enough room to pop in the depot. Or have I? Have I cut it too tight? I've cut it too tight, haven't I? Ah, ah, ah. Okay, we'll pop it. We'll pop it in here instead. Oh, well, that was a bit of a... That was a fail, wasn't it? Huh? A BonBonB fail. Now, we can connect these two roads up, because they're looking like they want to anyway. and we can do some kind of loop. So let's get the come out of that, click that. So that's all covered already. So probably just the one stop here. So one of those, and passengers, bus stop. Well, just the one stop is pretty much covering everything. I'm going to pop it there, but I'll do a second one over here. We're going to catch all the buildings at the top end of town as well by popping it here, and if it expands into this area, we're fully covered. Okay. And by road vehicles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of those. Set line, new line, and this is the Dunstable bus. Okay, what we'll do then is we'll add some stations in. The bus station, the drive, and Chester Road. And that why have they not gone out? Okay, now they're off and marching. Let's connect up the rail lines between the two towns. I think it's got to be flat along here, isn't it? Couple of minor hillies. I think we can just cut through those. They seem quite... Oh, that was poor. We need to line up with this fella. I think I'll just take that back a bit. That was pretty poor show, BonBonB. And now we'll just connect these two up. Lovely. And then we'll finish croak with building our third depot. Right about there. Nice. And too much curvature. Of course there is. Well, that was bound to happen, wasn't it? First time that I think, oh, I won't go quite so far, quite so close. This time I go a little bit too close. Right, standard tracks. That's the one. Right, we're all connected. Let's buy our train. Now we've finally got the excuse me. Oh, croak. I hate being asthmatic, you know. The Borsig. It's a little bit dearer, but it has a slightly higher top speed, from 40 going up to 45. The power is almost double, and the tractive effort is 25% higher as well. Yes, it costs more to run, but my god, could it carry more. And I could choose any colour I like, I guess, but I'm going to stick with the whatever it comes out, which would be black. Black is good. Okay, so we're going to buy the Borsig. And we're going to give it some Bavarian cars. Once again, the D13 car carries 6 with top speed of 40. The Bavarian carries 8, so we get an extra 2 in there already, and it can go faster as well. Loads at the same speed, no big problems. Right, so let's get this 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 100 meters long. We won't even get anywhere close to filling that, but at least we won't, well, not at first, but at least we won't need to come back in and upgrade quite so soon. Set a line. new line. And this is the Godmanchester passenger. We'll add our stations in. One there. And one at Dunstable. And that's it. Apart from naming the train. I thought we'd done that. Set line. Oh, I hadn't set it. I've just named it. Okay. So let's have a look at our third train. Now we're going to need a name. It's going to begin with a C. We got Agatha and we got Basil. If in doubt, a name beginning with C. Well, Charlie, obviously, I think. And off goes Charlie. So all the routes are now starting to come together. It's going to be a bit early to expect anybody to be heading down to the railway station here, because they're not even aware the route exists yet. So, right, we're kind of like at the end of today's episode. We're just come in and check. Oh, I thought that was the steam from the train. It's the cutting. I thought that was steam rising up from the train. No, that's your steam from the train. Somebody asked me the other day, why is it dark if it's a steam train? And I just thought, you what? What do you mean, why is it dark? They burn the coal to make the steam, and the smoke from the coal is what's going up there. That's not steam going up there, that's soot. And we'll definitely fill this train up. It was slightly light, of course, because we took some of the buses off for a short while, of course. So that's why that train wasn't full going in. But we're probably going to be full from now on in again. There we are, 46 already. And people heading towards, people walking in towards the station already. People coming from here, people just coming out of the bus station. Busy town. Busy town. Have we grown any since? Yeah, sitting around 400. Chipping Sodbury 330. And over here, the town's in the middle of the county. 382, that's not grown. And Upton 395. That's just on the edge now, tipping over the 400s. Only 55 on the train at the moment. And coming down to early, let's have a look at the station. And 39. Shall we have a look at the finances before we disappear? So yes, we made a small loss last year, which is not a surprise because we spent £500,000 on construction costs, roads, railroads, etc. So we spent a lot of money there. And we still only made a minor loss. Mind you, we got £1.5 million from this year. So it's kind of split over the 2 years that we've built that. But you can see previously 300,000, 800,000. And I'm pretty sure that these two new lines, well, this new line will start contributing towards our wealth and our next expansion. Now, what are we going to do in the next episode? I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm going to give it some thought. There is one thing that I would like to have a look at, and that's this line here, the Billericay to Minster line, because a passenger line between there is not so long, although there is a slight hill climb. It doesn't appear much, but we are actually going up from here, 109 to... So we're going up about 12 metres. in not the longest of distances, but between the two we have the oil well and an oil refinery. So that would quite happily produce, as well as passenger line, quite a lot of supplies to both Minster and Billericay. So I'm very tempted to putting a line there, and of course that will eventually join onto the Saxmundham loop. I don't think there's an awful lot out. The only other flat bit of line I could pop in is between Newcastle under Lyme, which is one of our larger towns under vanilla settings, 250, and Margate down here, which would be a nice little vacation area, I think, because it seems a long way from anywhere, quite isolated, river setting, very nice, very pretty. Haven't decided though, so join me again next time where we'll be doing a little bit more expansion, spending some of the money we've got coming in, because boy are we going to have money coming in, and the Gumpster line will in theory be producing cash. Let's have a look at Charlie. Charlie's carrying nothing at the moment. Have we got anybody on this platform here? 2 people, so we're already starting. We've got people walking in here. Yes, they're going to the station. One on station there. So we are now looking at an operating line, which is good news. Anybody at Dunstable? Anybody walking in towards Dunstable? One on the platform. Another one coming into the station right now. Guy over here looks like he's coming in. Where else would he be going? So yes, we are now operating a 3rd line, and this system definitely works better than having long distance wagon trains. There should be a game about wagon trains. Who wants to build it with me? No, I didn't think so. Right, so that's it for today. Thank you for watching, commenting, liking and subscribing as we enter 1869. What a year that was. Lovely. Right, so don't forget commenting, liking and subscribing, and join me again. I'm here every Monday and every Friday with more Transport Fever. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.